The Galactic Council's chamber fell silent as Ambassador Chen Wei stood before the assembled representatives of 47 star nations. The crystalline walls of the station reflected thousands of alien faces, each one bearing expressions ranging from contempt to barely concealed hostility. "The verdict is final," High Arbiter Velshan announced, his three eyes blinking in sequence. "Humanity is hereby denied membership to the Galactic Council. Furthermore, you are prohibited from establishing colonies beyond your home system. Your species has demonstrated an unacceptable propensity for violence, chaos, and unpredictable behavior." Chen's jaw tightened, but she maintained her composure. "May I remind the Council that humanity has been at peace for over 2 centuries. "Irrelevant," interrupted the Krell delegate, her scales rippling with disdain. "Your history speaks for itself. 5,000 years of constant warfare. Your planet still bears the scars of nuclear conflict. You are a danger to civilized space." The gavel fell. Humanity was banned. Chen returned to Earth with the news that would change everything. Within hours, the message had spread across every human world, station, and settlement in the Sol system. The reaction was not what the Galactic Council expected. Humanity didn't plead. Humanity didn't beg for reconsideration. Humanity got to work. 20 years later, Captain Sarah Okonkwo stood on the bridge of the Indomitable, humanity's first true deep space colony ship. Behind her, a fleet of 300 vessels waited in formation, not warships, but carriers laden with prefabricated stations, terraforming equipment, and 2 million colonists ready to stake their claim among the stars. "They said we couldn't leave Sol," Sarah muttered to her first officer. "They didn't say we had to listen." The Galactic Council had made a critical error. They had assumed humanity would comply with their ban, perhaps petition for decades, maybe even centuries, until they were deemed civilized enough. They had forgotten to actually enforce it. After all, who would dare defy the Council? The answer, as it turned out, was simple: everyone who had ever been told they weren't good enough. The fleet jumped to FTL, bypassing Council space entirely. Human engineers had spent 2 decades reverse engineering alien technology from observation alone, improving upon it with that peculiar human tendency to ask, "But what if we tried it this way?" Their drives were faster, their ships were tougher, and their determination was unbreakable. The first human colony outside Sol was established on a world they named Defiance. It was a harsh planet in an unclaimed sector, far from Council oversight. Within 5 years, Defiance had a population of 10 million and had become a manufacturing hub that rivaled anything in Council space. Then came freedom, then liberty, then new beginnings. Humanity spread like wildfire across the unclaimed regions of the galaxy, settling worlds the Council had deemed too difficult or not worth the effort. Humans thrived in low gravity and high gravity, on frozen wastelands and scorching deserts. They adapted, modified their own genetics when necessary, and built cities where others saw only obstacles. The Galactic Council noticed, of course. Emergency sessions were called. Strongly worded condemnations were issued. A fleet was even dispatched to remind humanity of its place. It never arrived at its destination. The Council fleet encountered humanity's newly established border guard at the edge of what humans now called the Terran Expanse. The Council commander, a decorated Velthari admiral, demanded the humans stand down and abandon their illegal colonies. Commander Marcus Webb's response entered human legend. "You're not in Council space anymore. You're in our space. Turn around or find out why you were right to fear us." The Council fleet withdrew without firing a shot. The Admiral's report was damning. Human military technology had somehow leapfrogged Council standards. Their ships were faster, their weapons more precise, their tactics more aggressive. The border guard had been outnumbered 5-1 and hadn't even blinked. 50 years after the ban, the Terran Empire was an established fact. It sprawled across 200 systems, encompassing 300 worlds and countless stations. Its economy rivaled the entire Galactic Council's. Its technology had surpassed it, and humanity was still expanding. What made it worse for the Council was that humanity didn't conquer. They traded. They negotiated. They offered mutual defense pacts to species the Council had marginalized or ignored. The Terran Empire became a haven for the undesirables, the independents, the rebels. The Cathari, a warrior species deemed too aggressive by the Council, found common cause with humans. The Whisper Folk, a hive mind species that made council members uncomfortable, established thriving colonies alongside human worlds. A dozen other species, each rejected or restricted by the council, joined what humans casually called the Club of the Band. When a council delegation finally arrived at Terra Prime, humanity's gleaming capital on New Earth, they came to negotiate. High Arbiter Velshawn, the same one who had delivered the ban half a century earlier, stood once again before a human ambassador. This time, Ambassador James Kowalski did not stand before them as a supplicant. "We've reconsidered," Velshawn began carefully. "The Council is prepared to offer humanity membership with full rights and—" "No," James said simply. Silence. Excuse me. "We're not interested," James clarified. "You had your chance to welcome us as partners. Instead, you tried to cage us. We don't need your council. We built something better." Velshawn's eyes blinked rapidly in distress. "You must understand there are protocols, procedures for maintaining galactic order." "We have our own order now," James interrupted. "One that welcomes everyone you turned away. One that rewards innovation instead of fearing it. One that judges species by their actions, not their history." He leaned forward. "You wanted to ban humanity to keep the galaxy safe. Instead, you gave us the motivation to build an empire. So thank you, High Arbiter. Your rejection was the best thing that ever happened to us." The council delegation left empty-handed. Behind them, the Terran Empire continued to grow, a beacon for every species that refused to be told they weren't worthy. And aboard ships jumping to FTL across 1,000 different routes, human crews carried with them a saying that had become their motto: "They told us we couldn't, so we did."